Hi YouTube, this is my mini video about a little haul that I've made and my kind of thoughts initially on some of the products from MAC's latest limited edition range, Heavenly Creatures, I think it's called. It's just out in the UK, I believe in the shops, although I haven't had the chance to get to a MAC shop or counter this week, but I bought my products online and they were delivered pretty quickly here in London. So what I got from the current collection, apart from a brush which they also featured as part of the collection, although I think it was out before, were two of the mineralized eyeshadows, lipstick, and one of the mineralized skin finishes. I actually bought another skin finish, but it's not part of this line. It's called Lightscapade and was part of one of their earlier ranges that had been out of stock. I might talk about that a little bit at the end, but looking at the products that I got, it was really difficult online to decide which to go for because there were some lovely colours. I was particularly taken with the eyeshadows. I should say that I have a palette of, well, two palettes actually, of some of the kind of classic, really popular eyeshadows that you'll see a lot of videos about on YouTube. But I'm not a huge fan usually of their individual potted shades, but these just looked so gorgeous. You can see there, this one is called Bright Moon, and in the pot you can see its gorgeous kind of galactic shades, like a little planet of it looks more turquoisey in real light than it's showing up on the camera. A really iridescent silver and purple swirled, which I just thought was really pretty. I'm not a huge fan of blue eyeshadow on my lids. I very occasionally use a little bit as an accent colour, but it's a bit too 80s for me. But I do quite like silvers and greys, and I figured that this one might well apply that way, and in fact it does. The consistency is pretty good on these, not brilliant I have to say, a little bit grainy. You can see when I swatch directly onto a finger you get a really bluey, silvery swatch of the overall swirled colour, which is quite pretty as a kind of highlight colour. Applied dry to the eye, it wouldn't be hugely pigmented. You can see there it applies with a good sort of brushing, really as a kind of smoky grey. I guess it's possible to pick out the individual colours. That's the blue, but they don't swatch with a a huge payoff given how vivid they are in the pot. So I guess what I'm saying really, although I've worn this on my eyelids, just applied dry. You can make it more vivid applying wet, but this one didn't turn out a whole lot more vivid wet. I tried both this morning. It's just a pleasant, almost accenting sheen. You will kind of need to define in other colours, I think. It's kind of prettier in the pot, to be honest, than it applies. And that's even more true of this one, which was the other colour I selected, which is just gorgeous in the pot. Look at that, shades of yellow, a kind of ochre yellow in the middle. It's actually looking deeper in real life than on the camera. navy blue, which has iridescent flecks in, and greens. It looks really gorgeous in the pot, although you can see there's quite a lot of fallout, which, you know, immediately highlights to me that the texture is not brilliant. But when you swatch it, you know, you get a bit of the ochre payoff there, but immediately, you know, not a whole lot going on when you apply it dry. My brush is a bit dirty, but a general, you know, really quite hard swirl. There it is on the brush. On the hand, you know, just a kind of smudgy khaki colour, really. Not that exciting. It is possible to pick up with, I'll just wipe the brush slightly, an individual fine brush, particularly this navy blue, which, as I say, is very iridescent individually. It's not looking that impressive there, swatched on my hand, but you can use it. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, and I use that as a kind of smudgy eyeliner bit today. It looked quite nice, but again, I'm just going to blow that. You know, these are absolutely gorgeous in the pan as a kind of piece of makeup art to look at for your, I think they're £16.50 in the UK, but for you know, not that much more, you could buy certainly a duo and probably a quad of a really good eyeshadow selection like Chanel or Dior, which, to be brutally frank, offer an incomparably better quality shadow with better colours when applied to the face. So that's sounding really negative, because I don't regret getting those two. They're really, really pretty, and they're quite fun to play about with and create some effects, but they're pretty hard work to do anything unusual with. The lipsticks are a real disappointment, to be honest. I thought they looked really pretty on the site, but in the end just went for one, which is Venus, which is described, I think, as a yellow pink. It's a luster, so you know straight away that that's going to be quite delicate on the mouth. It's not going to give a lot of colour, not like a matte. But I thought it was a really pretty pink shade, and it is real sort of, I don't know, strawberry pink. You see when swatched, you know, that actually looks quite bold. On the lips, it basically gives my lips definition, but it's not a very obvious colour. What I will say, for a luster, it's quite drying. It doesn't really flatter my mouth. I'm an older woman, and I need all the help I can get, and this is very drying. I'm kind of used to that with some of MAC's mattes, which are a much drier formula. They're worth it to me because the colour payoff with them is often really good, but you haven't really got the colour payoff with this, so I'd kind of expect a more moisturising formula than this. You know, as I say, I'm going to give it much more of a try. I'm not going to send it back, but I've worn it, you know, 2 days, and I've been a bit disappointed with how it applies and feels on my lips, to be honest. And again, you know, it's not, the pricing isn't up there in the ranges of Chanel and Dior and Yves Saint Laurent, but there is no comparison, as far as I'm concerned, with the quality of the colour payoff and the comfort in wearing. What I do generally really like with MAC products, and the number of others that I really like, are their mineralised skin finishes, which are are very, very versatile. They're soft and gentle shade. I use all the time as an all-over kind of highlighting powder. It gives a beautiful finish to my makeup, and I would buy it again and again. This one I went for the lightest of the shades, which is called Light Year. You can see immediately, just opening it, the amount of fallout, which is, not a great start, particularly as it's quite flaky fallout, not very even. But I wore this today. There you see it's swatching. It looks actually lighter on my finger there on this camera than in reality. It's more peachy, and I would use it again to give, just a beautiful all over facial glow rather than specifically a blusher or contour. I think some of the other shades in the range you might be able to do that with a bit more. I think it would suit quite a lot of skin tones. It's got this slightly goldy luminosity rather than a silver luminosity, which the other one that I bought and I showed you has. Not in this range. That's the Lightscapade. So that one I wore today. I like it a lot. Definitely pleased I got it. I might look at some of the others. I think I would actually go into store and see how they worked out on my skin tone before I bought. But it's nice. I think a lot of English, Anglo-Saxon complexions would look really good in this. It's a nice product to use instead of a finishing powder. And they never fail, really. I mean, this is sold as part of the collection. One of the MAC stipple brushes. This is 188. It's lovely. A great brush for applying all sorts of face products. You get a lot of control. The white, much softer area allowing you just to pat on very small amounts, but more control given by the stronger bristles here. That's a great brush. I'm thinking of getting the bigger one as well. So that was my MAC Heavenly Creatures mini haul. There are lots of other things to see in the collection. They have blushes. I'm not a fan of MAC blushes. I've bought a few over the years, and I don't find that overall they work brilliantly for me. I'd rather pay a little more for Chanel, to be honest, who I think are better, or just pay far, far less and buy an ordinary drugstore one. But the range looks really pretty, and if you're a fan of MAC blushes, you're going to find some interesting ones in that range. Again, they have a whole range of glossomers, the lip glosses that MAC do. I've really got, too many lip glosses now, and again, I'm getting to the stage where I don't need any more, and glosses generally are perhaps not that flattering when you're a bit older, I think. So I didn't go for that, but they look to have some really, really pretty ones. And as I say, the eyeshadows are really worth a look, just for how pretty they are in the pot, and, if you found a nice colour combination that you could work with. But for me, the hero products, the mineral skin finish, and I would definitely look at the other colour combinations in that. So happy MAC shopping. Bye.